what's up? My name is JJ and this is a guitar lesson on the minor pentatonic scale. Now if you're a beginning guitar player, that might sound a little intimidating, but really there's nothing to worry about. It's really quite easy. The minor pentatonic is the guitar player's bread and butter. Of course you can play lead licks and riffs by copying other players or videos on YouTube, but really you won't really know what you're doing unless you know scales. So you gotta learn a couple of scales, and the minor pentatonic is a good place to start. When I was learning how to play the guitar when I was about 14, 15 years old, I learned a couple of chords and I learned some barré chords. And then the first scale I actually learned was the minor pentatonic, and for all I knew there were two positions, one in the open position and one in the 12th position, and it was years later that I learned that there was also a different position that later I learned that was called position 4. Now there are 5 positions of the minor pentatonic scale, and I will show you all 5, and I will mainly focus on the key of E because that's a great starting point. If you want to expand your vocabulary, learn all 5 positions of the minor pentatonic scale and try them out in different key signatures as well to learn your way around the fretboard. Let's start off by learning the first position of the minor pentatonic scale. And the pentatonic scale has 5 notes, that's why it's called pentatonic. Penta means 5. I'll be playing in the key of E, and I'll play this in the open position, incorporating open strings. The 5 notes in the key of E are E, G, A, B, and D. Let's play those in the open position. Then I can play the octave, which is another E, very much like the one on the low E string. Now I can continue the scale and move up from the D string there you go, and play all 6 strings. Let me break that down for you. That's open E, G, 3rd fret on the E string, A, open, 2nd fret on the A string for B, open D, 2nd fret on the D string for E, open G, then A on the 2nd fret of the G string, open B, D on the 3rd fret of the B string, open E, and then G on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Now let's move over to the second position, and the little trick to remember which position is which is by playing all notes of the pentatonic scale on the low E string. If I do that, I get E, G, A, B, D, and here's the octave, 12th fret, E. The second note in the scale is G on the 3rd fret, so if I'm going to start playing there and play the same scale but only in the second position, that looks like this. Let me break that down for you. That's G on the 3rd fret of the E string, A on the 5th fret of the E string, B on the 2nd fret of the A string, just like in the first position, and then there's D on the 5th fret of the A string. Here's the octave, which is E, 2nd fret on the D string. Here's the G, 5th fret on the D string, A, 2nd fret on the G string, B, 4th fret on the G string, D, 3rd fret on the B string. Here's an E, the other octave, on the 5th fret of the B string, G again, just like in position 1, on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and then here's A on the 5th fret of the high E string. Position 2. And here's the third position. E, G, A. 1, 2, 3. So we're starting on the 5th fret of the low E string. Let me break that down for you. That's A on the 5th fret of the E string, B, 7th fret of the E string, D is the 5th fret on the A string, here's the root note, 7th fret on the A string and E, G, 5th fret on the D string, and then right here is the A, 7th fret on the D string, and then here 4th fret on the G string, that is a B. 7th fret on the G string is a D. Here is an E, another root note on the 5th fret of the B string. And then here's another G, which is the 8th fret of the B string. Here is an A, 5th fret on the high E string. And another B, 7th fret on the high E string. Position 4. E, G, A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're starting position 4 on the B on the low E string, 7th fret. And notice how I use notes from the other positions to move back to the low E, which is a very satisfying sound. Let me break position 4 down for you. That's B, 7th fret on the E string, D, 10th fret on the E string, here's the root note again, 7th fret on the A string, G, 10th fret on the A string, A is the 7th fret on the D string, B is the 9th fret on the D string, and then right here is D, 7th fret on the G string, so that's a D. Here's another root note, E, which is the 9th fret on the G string. Okay, now here's the G again, which is the 8th fret on the B string. Okay, so that's G. Then A is the 10th fret on the B string, B, 7th fret on the high E string, and D is the 10th fret on the high E string. Here's the 5th and final position of the minor pentatonic scale. E, G, A, B, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So position 5 starts on the 10th fret on the low E string, that's a D note. Let me break that down for you. That's D, 10th fret on the low E string, E, the root note, 12th fret on the low E string, here's G, 10th fret on the A string, A, 12th fret on the A string, and then right here is a B, which is the 9th fret on the D string, here's D, 12th fret on the D string, here's another octave, 7th fret on the G string is an E, just like in the previous position, position 4. Here's the G, 12th fret on the G string. And then here is an A, 10th fret on the B string. B, 12th fret on the B string. D, 10th fret on the E string. And of course, E, 12th fret on the high E string. Now if you would want to play the minor pentatonic in the key of A, all you have to do is just find the A on the low E string, that's the 5th fret, right here, and play the first position. Second position in the key of A is played from the 2nd note, which is C, that's the 8th fret on the low E string, etc. Okay, so that's the minor pentatonic scale and all 5 positions of it. If you've learned this scale, you're ready to make some serious music, because it's the foundation of rock music, country, blues, you name it. And the pentatonic scale can be heard in a lot of different musical styles, and it's a great starting point when learning to play scales on the guitar. When learning something new on your instrument, remember to take it slow. Speed is a byproduct of accuracy, so focus on playing things accurately first, and then the speed will come gradually along the way. Be careful that speed is not a goal in itself to you, but remember to play accurately and take things slow. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe so that you won't miss any new videos. And also visit my Facebook page, that's facebook.com/JJ Likes Guitar. See you later, JJ out.